Welcome back. All right, so now we are going to work on Are We Congruent? This is the next exercise in our packet. We will need a protractor, but not right away. In this exercise, we are going to first make a hypothesis of sorts. We are going to look at all of these different angles here, right? We have angle A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Limino B. Anyway, number one says, without using your protractor, no protractor, hide it. Okay, without using your protractor, look at all these angles that are drawn and list the ones that you think might be congruent. So we're just using our human eyes to find out if we see any angles that we think are congruent to each other, or two angles that are the same, right? Because congruent means the same, or in terms of angles, it would be the same degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera around and we'll look at a few of these together, okay? All right, so we are looking for different angles that we think might be the same. And remember, just because the legs are longer, it doesn't mean anything. It's just trying to throw us off. We are just going to make our best human guess without using a tool like a protractor. You might have already found some. To me, I don't know for sure, but I think that angle A and angle L might be congruent. I mean, these legs are longer, but it could be the same. So that is one of my guesses, angle A and angle L. So it just says to list them. So I think that angle A might be congruent. So I think that is congruent to angle L. That might look like I'm writing in hieroglyphics, right? But remember, that sign right here means angle, and this right here means congruent. We could always look back at our vocab sheet. You could write out angle A congruent to angle L, but we don't have time for that. Okay, so I just found one set that I think might be congruent. I want you to find two more that you think might be congruent. So you can put a comma. I want you to find another set of angles that might be congruent. So fill in this blank and this blank. And then at least one other. I want you to try to find with your eyeballs at least three, or you can do more, that you think might be congruent. Okay? So do that and then come back. All right, so hopefully you made a couple more guesses. I did too, but I covered mine up because I don't want to influence you. So I also looked at the angles and I tried to find at least two more sets that I thought were congruent. Okay, so now we're on to number two. Number two is what's going to take quite a while, and that's okay, on this exercise. It reads, measure all of the angles on these pages twice. Twice because we're humans and we make errors. So we need to truly measure them 2 times to make sure that we are as accurate as we can be. And then we're going to write the measure of the angle next to it. So let's do some of these together. How about we do, why don't we do all the ones on this page together? That way we knock out 4 together, and then that would leave you with these guys right here. Okay? So let's do this together. We'll just go in ABC order. So let's measure A. As you know, I do like to put my little dot here. Oh, and I'm using blue because I think you can see it easier on a video. It is erasable though, thank goodness. You also know that I like to take these lines and bring them out a little bit longer. I'll have to deal with that later, that line going through it. So now I'm going to take my protractor. I'm going to put it right on that circle angle here. Oh, except for I'm a dork, and I was doing it the wrong way. I'm a goober. All right. Now, I know this is acute, so it can't be this 140 over here. It has to be somewhere between 40 and 50. Somewhere between 40 and 45, so I think that's 40, 41, 42. I think it's, oh, maybe I don't have this on here right. I have to be very accurate, right? 44, right? Here's 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Okay, I think it's 44. I am going to go back and remeasure it, though. All right, here's B. I got 44 degrees. I don't know what you got. Maybe you're yelling at me right now because you got something else. All right, B, I'm going to put my dot. And that is way too small for me to measure. So, okay. And this is a little cute guy, right? I think I have it on there okay. You can't see my face, but it is like up against the paper. Like I'm really trying to get a proper measurement here. Maybe you see my hair. Yeah, my face is very close to the paper. I'm going to try to follow my line. I think it's 20 something. Maybe 23. I'm going to put 23. We'll see what happens when I remeasure later. All right, let's go with C, but now I have to turn my paper upside down because the vertex is right here. Is that line long enough? Hey, well, no, I'm still going to extend my line. Okay. Putting my circle on my little dot here, lining up. Remember this super important line right here that sometimes can come off? That is the line that you want to put on top of your angle line. I'm using the word line a lot. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, so I know this is obtuse. This looks to me like it's exactly 150. It's like, boom, right on 150. Maybe a little bit less. So I'm going to put 150. I'm going to turn it around. So 150. What did you get? Did you get 150? Or like 149 or something? All right, we have one more left on this page. D. I'm going to line. Oh, I didn't make my line longer. You probably already started doing that, didn't you? Okay. Put this on here. Follow my line. It's close to 140, and I know it's at least, I know it's in the hundreds, right? Because it's more than a 90-degree angle. I don't know. I think it's like 138, maybe. I'm going to put 138 for now. All right. So I've measured these with you. I only checked them once, though. Remember, you have to check them twice, right? Like Santa Claus. Doesn't he check his list twice? Because what you're looking for, and I'm going to give you a hint. After you're done with number 2, measuring all these angles 2 times, you are looking for 4 sets of congruent angles. So which of these angles are congruent? We're just going to look ahead. Number 3, here's your hint. There are 4 sets. That's a lot, right? So you'll know if you got your angles measured correctly if you find at least 4 sets of angles that are correct. I'm going to show you how to write your answer in for number 3, and it's just like number 1. So you'll have angle something is congruent to angle something else, right? Comma. And you're going to have 4 of these. But you won't know these answers until you accurately measure all of the angles, which I also need to do myself. There's 4 of them, right? Set 1, set 2, set 3, and finally set 4. My angle sign's looking a little funky. There you go. So you, again, for number 2, you're going to go through and you're going to measure everything at least twice because you're looking for 4 sets of congruent angles. So maybe, I don't know yet because I haven't measured them all, but maybe I was right about A and L, right? That was one of my guesses, A and L. So if that ends up being right, I will put A and L in these blanks because they are congruent to each other. Now, I'm not saying that's the answer because I honestly don't know yet. I need to measure. Then let's look at number 4. Number 4 says, does the orientation of an angle affect its measure? Meaning, if the angle's pointing this way, or 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 this way, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter, right? The orientation doesn't matter. It's just how wide the legs are of the angle. Does the length of the legs of an angle affect its measure? So let's look at B. Does it matter if B's lines are all the way out here or just right here? Does that change the degrees? No, it doesn't, right? So that is your last answer that you will need to complete. Make sure you explain yourself. And that's it, okay? This does take a while because there is a lot of measuring. And your face might be really close to it trying to get an accurate measurement. So again, just to recap real quick, we made our hypothesis on which ones we thought would be congruent. Then you're going to measure everything at least twice because you want to get really good, accurate measurements. From that, you are looking for 4 sets of angles that are congruent to each other. And we already pre-filled this out, so you can just write in the blanks. And then you're going to answer these questions right here. Remember, there's 2 questions and then explain in this section right here. If you write really big, it's okay to go out of the lines and underneath. I'll find your work. Don't you worry about that. You can even go over here in this space if you'd like. That's it. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm here for you. All right. Bye.